The leverage of your mind. Why some get rich while others don't. Hey everyone, in today's video, I want to share a secret I've learned about how money truly works. Have you ever wondered why is it that when faced with the same opportunity, some people seize it and thrive, while others stay stuck on the sidelines? The answer isn't about the amount of cash in your pocket, it's about your mental leverage. Never say, "I can't afford it." Years ago, I was walking with a wealthy mentor past some stunning beachfront villas. He pointed to a luxury mansion and said, "I just bought this house." I was shocked because I knew that at that time he didn't actually have that kind of liquid cash on hand. The biggest lesson I took away was the power of your perception dictates your reality. The average person often says, "I can't afford it." This phrase immediately shuts down your brain. It stops looking for solutions and accepts defeat. The wealthy operate differently. They never tell themselves they can't. Instead, they might spend months mapping out a plan, asking, "How can I afford it?" It is this ability to turn the impossible into possible in the mind first that eventually makes it a reality in the physical world. Whatever you believe to be true will become your truth. Is investing really risky? I often hear people say investing is so risky, but the truth is the act of investing itself isn't risky. The risk lies in the lack of knowledge of the investor. Think of it like crossing a busy street or riding a bike. If you don't know what you're doing, it's dangerous, but if you have the skill, it's just part of the journey. Most people are afraid because they let their negative perceptions run the show, and they mistake their fear for fact. Be prepared for failure. Let's look at the cold, hard facts. 9 out of 10 new businesses fail within the first 5 years. Many financial advisors use this stat to tell people to avoid starting a business because it's too risky. My perspective? If I know I have to fail 9 times to get that one big win, I'm going to prepare myself mentally to get back up every single time. Failure is the mother of success. If I hadn't been willing to fail those first few times, I'd still be working for a paycheck today, and I never would have reached financial freedom. Don't let a few small wins make you arrogant. In business, we need the humility to remember that every time we start something new, the 9 out of 10 rule applies. But I'd much rather take the risk to move forward than stay paralyzed in one spot. The spirit of ownership. Over 100 years ago, almost everyone was an independent entrepreneur. Farmers, shopkeepers, small trade owners. They managed their own risks. But over time, the rise of megacorporations turned most of us into employees seeking a security that is often an illusion. I want to remind you, those who are willing to accept risk are the ones who drive the economy and create wealth. Without individuals willing to face uncertainty to build businesses, society would stagnate. Every argument about money eventually comes down to a difference in perception. Instead of arguing about who is right or wrong, try expanding your mind. Don't let the barriers in your head stop you from reaching the life you truly deserve.
The story of Mark Sterling, from zero to financial freedom. At age 28, Mark worked at a logistics company earning a modest salary of $3,500 per month. He dreamed of owning a small apartment complex for rental income, but his first mental wall was always, "I don't have $200,000 for a down payment. I can't afford it." Instead of stopping, Mark applied the formula, "How can I afford it?" He spent 6 months researching OPM, other people's money, and joint venture structures. Rather than buying a loan, he drafted a professional business plan and pitched it to 4 friends. Mark pooled $50,000 from his own savings and raised an additional $150,000 from his group to buy his first building worth $800,000 with a 75% bank loan. Many told Mark he was being reckless by taking on such big debt, but Mark understood that risk lives in the lack of knowledge. He dedicated 200 hours to studying property management and legal clauses. By mastering cost optimization techniques, Mark boosted the occupancy rate from 70% to 98% in just the first year. His net cash flow after mortgage payments reached $2,500 per month, covering 70% of his former day job's salary. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Mark failed miserably when he tried to invest in a franchised coffee shop. The shop closed after 14 months, causing him to lose $40,000 in capital. Instead of breaking down, Mark remembered the 9-10 rule. He calmly analyzed, this is just one of the necessary failures to reach the next success. He didn't quit. He used that management experience to pivot and invest in a warehouse management tech startup. After 3 years of persistence, that startup was acquired. Mark's initial $20,000 investment turned into $300,000, a 15x return, completely wiping out his coffee shop losses and leaving plenty of capital for his next property. After 8 years of consistently applying these formulas, mindset, never say impossible, always find a way. Action, accept failure as the tuition fee for success. Mark Sterling, at age 36, owns a real estate portfolio worth $2.5 million. Monthly passive income, $12,000, 3.5 times his old salary. Time. He is now completely time-free to be with his family and mentor other young entrepreneurs. The lesson. Mark's success didn't come from luck. It came from the courage to step out of the employee safety zone and embrace calculated owner risks. As you can see, once you change your perception, the numbers in your bank account will follow.
The win-loss ratio. Why I'm willing to fail 9 times just to win big once. People frequently ask me, isn't business or high-stakes investing too risky? What if you lose everything? The truth is, the secret isn't about whether you're reckless or not. It's about understanding the ratio between the upside and the downside. The difference between risk-taking and recklessness. In everything I do, I accept there will be risks, but I never act blindly. That is the line between being a calculated risk-taker and being reckless. Most people look at an opportunity and only ask, is it right or wrong, or is it good or bad? But those with a sharp financial mindset ask, how much do I stand to gain if I'm right, and how much will I lose if I'm wrong? If the gain significantly outweighs the loss, it's a smart move, even if the probability of failure is high. The winner's strategy versus the loser's strategy. I've realized a fascinating truth. The average person, they are terrified of failure. They want 100% success rate. Because they fear being wrong, they choose safe options like savings accounts or stable 9-to-5 jobs. Ironically, by avoiding failure at all costs, they also avoid the breakthroughs that lead to wealth. This is what I call the loser's strategy. The winner. They know that failure is simply a part of the game. A winning strategy always accounts for losses. Let's look at a real-world example. Imagine a friend of mine trading in the stock market. He knows he only needs to win once out of every 20 trades to come ahead. He divides his capital so that he only risks a tiny fraction each time. He could lose 14 times in a row, but when that 15th trade hits a massive market swing, the profit wipes out all his previous losses and then some. Don't let the fear of falling stop you from flying. Remember the story of the Wright brothers? Before they became the first people to fly, they spent years on a wide, flat field just practicing how to fall. They chose a safe place to fail thousands of times just to learn the mechanics of flight. Finance is the same. The biggest mistake people make in their retirement planning is hoping the market only goes up. They have no plan B for a market crash. Because they have no room for failure in their plan, one mistake can wipe them out for good. Learn to see the big picture. Failure isn't a disaster, it's the mother of success. If you want to become wealthy, you must be mentally prepared for the math, failing 99 times to achieve one massive victory. It's not about how many times you are right, it's about whether you have the stamina to maintain that vision over many years. Once you realize that one big win can overshadow all your small losses, you'll stop seeing the world as a place of danger and start seeing it as a world of opportunity.
Shifting your mindset, the most powerful lever to financial freedom. Have you ever wondered why, given the same opportunity, some people skyrocket to wealth while others stay stuck in the daily grind? After years of navigating the financial world and building my own wealth, I've realized a hard-won truth. The difference isn't the capital in your bank account, it's the mental springiness of your mindset. Your mind is your most powerful tool. Many people view investing as risky or gambling. Consequently, their brains only seek out news about losses and bankruptcies just to prove themselves right. In the end, they do nothing. But the reality is, what you believe to be true will become your reality. If you believe you'll never be rich, your mind will shut the door on every opportunity. Conversely, if you constantly ask, "How can I afford that?" instead of saying, "I can't afford it," your brain starts acting like a search engine for solutions. To grow wealthy, you must loosen your own limits. From my experience, the first step to scaling your income from thousands to millions a year isn't working harder, it's shifting your perception. Instead of saying, "This is too expensive," go find the people who have already bought it and learn how they did it. Instead of fearing risk, learn to calculate what is the win-loss ratio and how many times am I willing to fail before I hit the win. Don't trap yourself in the safety cocoon of old thoughts. Truly wealthy people are those who constantly expand their boundaries, stay open to new ideas, and embrace realities different from their own. Don't fear failure, it's the fuel for strength. Many people avoid failure at all costs, and that is exactly why they never succeed. For me, true strength only comes after you have tasted failure. Failure taught me how to recover, how to be more calculated, and gave me a nerves of steel mentality that no textbook can teach. In finance, if you haven't pushed past your limits and stumbled, you haven't yet discovered your true mental springiness. Choose good expenses and the right mental food. Just like fitness, you can't get fit by starving yourself or eating junk. Building wealth is the same. Don't be so frugal that you pinch every penny and miss out on the big picture. Know where to deploy your capital. Good expenses are those that help you generate even more money. Most importantly, feed your brain by learning from those who have succeeded before you. I constantly study the lives of billionaires and visionaries to broaden my worldview. The bottom line, if you truly want to retire early and live in abundance, the best starting point is to change your perception right now. Don't let outdated thoughts clip your wings. Dare to think differently, dare to act differently, and never stop expanding your horizons. I hope these insights in this video help you find a new perspective on your own financial journey.